It's been fascinating to have a pair of great horned owls nesting behind the backyard this spring, and at the same time as the tiny eastern screech owls were successfully nesting in their nest box. Screech owls are like miniature great horned owls, really. And great horned owls are huge, high-profile raptors, the absolute top of the avian food chain around here. I've been hearing them and seeing them for months, and knew they had a nest high in the largest first major crotch of a longleaf pine tree behind the yard. But because of the 40 to 50 foot height of the nest and the impenetrable forest undergrowth, mainly palmetto thicket, and the dense longleaf foliage, it was impossible to see the nest. So filming was with a super telephoto, often at a distance of 170 feet away. I use the word nest loosely because great horned owls are not much for building nests, primarily using natural or man-made cavities or the old nests of hawks or ospreys. In this case, the crotch of the tree provided a nice bowl, and some pine needle straw was all that was added for cushioning. But I knew that when the owlets were big enough, they would come out on the nearby branches, and maybe I'd get an angle to see and film them. I had to go north for a month and thought I'd missed them, but when I returned at the end of May, it was just in time to see the now quite large great horned owlets fledge and fly for the first time. They did not come out until after the sun went down, and it was so dark I could barely make them out. But cranking the exposure on the OM Systems OM1 Mark II to the maximum of +3 allowed me to get them on video with some decent detail, despite advancing darkness, and fortunately they fledged before total darkness set in. The first owlet is testing her wings, and then the second owlet flutters down to a branch below the nest, and she jumps over to join. After a few minutes of practice and thought, they both fledge and begin their next stage of life. The great horned owl family will remain in the area with the big tree as their home base, and the parents will feed the owlets until they're self-sufficient, usually a month or two. Then the young owlets will gradually move away, and the parents will now probably stay on their territory year-round. So stay tuned for updates.